Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Let's Talk Tuesdays podcast. My name is BrendenPlayz. This, of course, is the show where we answer all of your questions that you send in every single week on the BrendenPlayz forums at BrendenPlayz.com/forums, in the YouTube comment section down below, over the Facebook page at BrendenPlayz Official, or by leaving a voicemail on the website. So, another week has come and gone, and we are now on, I guess, the road to Extreme Rules. I'm currently, less than a week away from Extreme Rules. So this week, we're going to cover Extreme Rules. We're going to give all of my thoughts and opinions on Extreme Rules, what exactly I think is going to happen. We also have a lot of things to talk about on Raw, including the Shining Stars debuting, we've got Emma's injury, the Adam Rose situation, Paige Del Rio dating. I mean, there's a few things to talk about. Also, a few guys possibly getting fired soon. There's a lot of rumors going around about that. So we're going to get into all of that today. So there's plenty to talk about today, and we still have a lot of your questions as well, which of course, please do send in your questions every single week. I will try to get to as many as I can. So keep on sending those questions in. Whether you think I'm going to talk about it or not, make sure you just comment below, and whether I naturally cover it or I'll answer them out, it doesn't matter. If you say, what do you think of this, maybe there's a chance I might already talk about that, so your question won't be heard, but please just keep on sending that in regardless. And if there's something that I've missed, then I can always go back and answer your questions. So I do appreciate everyone that's been still consistently sending in the questions every week. That means a lot, and I really appreciate that. This week on the channel was a little bit of an interesting one. We tried a few different things. We actually made our first vlog, and we talked about that a little bit last week, what exactly the plan was. But I just want to give a big thank you to everyone who did watch the vlog and had a pretty good response, and not a bad amount of views and some good likes and some good comments. Obviously, everyone was commenting about how I look and whatever and all that crap. I knew that was going to come. I knew that was really what it was going to be mainly about in the comments. So that's how it's going to be for the first few, and if once I get a few more done, then people start to really kind of talk about the content in the vlog. But obviously, I've done a lot of streaming over the past at least couple months where I've done the webcam, so most of you probably see me from the streams anyways. But for the majority that have not, well, that was what they were mainly touching on about. But we also did the setup video as well, which got a very good response as well. So appreciate everyone who checked out those two videos. Means a lot. Also, a very good week in terms of universe mode as well. Lots of good responses there, and it seems like I had a look just before. I was just kind of looking up universe mode. It seems as though not many people are really doing the universe mode anymore. I mean, when I type in WWE 2K16 universe mode, mainly my videos pop up. I know Gordon Perkins hasn't done a video for a couple of weeks, so it kind of seems a little concerning that there isn't that many universe mode content creators. Maybe I'm just not seeing that. Maybe they're not getting the views to get high in the search rankings. But it seems as though there's a little bit of a lack of content being created there. So that's a little concerning, I guess. I mean, not so bad for me. Obviously more of my videos are going to be seen, hopefully. But in terms of the community as a whole, I guess people aren't really doing the WWE videos anymore. And I guess gaming itself on YouTube is slowing down a lot. I mean, the vlogs really are taking over, and that's not the reason why I'm doing the vlogs. I think the vlogs, to do vlogs, you kind of need a fan base to begin with, and then once the fan base connects with you, once the fan base knows who you're all about, knows what you are, what you do, then they can start to enjoy your vlogging content a lot more, as well as your gaming stuff. But yeah, so I kind of wanted to have the vlogs as a little bit of an extra as well as the gaming stuff. But I'm hoping that the gaming continues to keep on going. Maybe, people are just starting to lose a bit of interest in doing the universe mode stuff. I mean, for me, I don't ever lose interest really in universe mode. I think that's the beauty of it. You really need to create a universe mode that you just can keep on churning out all the time. And, I guess maybe I don't overdo it. I mean, maybe I'll do 3 or 4 or 5 videos a week on universe mode, so I'm still remaining, I feel like if I haven't done a universe mode video in 3 or 4 days, it feels like it's been a year. It feels like I've completely neglected it and I've forgotten everything that's going on. So, I got to keep on being consistent myself to kind of keep myself in the loop. But yeah, it just feels like I haven't seen that many universe modes rolling around, or there has been a bit of a lack of. So I guess a little concerning, but I'm hoping that you guys are getting universe mode fixes from me, and more people might be coming to me to get their universe mode fix. I don't know. I know career mode is obviously very, very popular with Dankops and whatever, and I commend him. I can't play career mode for more than 20 minutes without wanting to go to sleep or pull my hair out or whatever. It just drives me nuts, but kudos to him. But yeah, so lack of universe mode, I just noticed that. Make sure you guys also, here we're going to get the plugs in, so make sure you guys also check out my Twitter and Facebook pages as well to keep up to date with everything to do with BrendenPlayz. We're approaching 1,000 likes on Facebook. It's going to take a while, but I use the Facebook page to update you guys with everything that's going on, post all my new videos on there as well, so you'll always keep up to date. Same with the Twitter. The Twitter is more my personal thing, so you'll hear my thoughts and opinions about whatever I'm, talking about. Obviously, I'm a big sports guy, but I don't really comment on American sports, so all you overseas viewers will have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, or nor will you care, but I do talk a lot about sports on my Twitter, so that's what I do there. Like I said again last week, the forums, they're back online. We had a lot of new members come along to the forums this week, so if that's been one of you, thank you very much for joining up to the forums. And we've been doing a lot of streams again as well, so we had a couple of streams over the weekend, so very close to 4,000 followers on Twitch as well, so I appreciate everyone that has followed the Twitch channel. Still very busy with assignments. I'm currently in the midst of working on an assignment right now. I'm kind of procrastinating by doing this podcast because I really don't want to do the assignment, but so I've got that assignment. I got one due on Thursday and one due next Wednesday, and then after that I am free from my assignments for a few weeks, so I can kind of knuckle down, get some videos done, and obviously prepare for my exams. But yeah, so I would like to be streaming more for you guys, but this is the busiest time for the next probably 4 or 5 months, and I'll be pretty cruisy again. But this is a busy time for me, so I'm trying to get at least one stream a week done. So every Saturday night you can expect to see a WWE stream. That's what I'm least bare minimum. I'll get a WWE stream done every week for you. And we did one the other night, and we had a lot of fun. We did some Royal Rumbles in, what was it, not Just Bring It, what's the other one? The WWE SmackDown, no, I think it was Just Bring It, yeah, I'm thinking of Shut Your Mouth, no, it was Shut Your Mouth, I think Shut Your Mouth, yeah, so I always get the two mixed up. So yeah, I think we did some Royal Rumbles on WWE SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth, on the Oli on the PS2. That was a lot of fun, a really lot of fun. So you guys were picking, generally what we do with the 2K16 Rumbles, you guys were picking who you wanted me to play as, who you wanted to represent you in the Rumble, and the winner, well, we didn't get a prize, but the winner got some, gratification. We did a few of them. It was a lot of fun. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because we're going to be doing a little bit of a series on it on YouTube. So I think something cool that I might do is, for the first one, I asked people on the forums to sign up to it. So I posted a roster list, and you guys got to pick who you wanted to be and whatever. So we did that, and we got 30 names within a day, which is really cool. And what I'm going to do is this Saturday on Twitch is we're going to do that Royal Rumble, and everyone that had their person picked will be in that Rumble. And whoever wins that Royal Rumble, so let's say Billy wins the Royal Rumble, and the person he picked was Hulk Hogan. So Hulk Hogan wins the Rumble. That means Billy wins the Royal Rumble. That means he goes into a pool of 4. So we're going to do 4 Royal Rumble matches, and the 4 winners will have an opportunity to win probably a t-shirt at this point. Give away a BrendenPlayz t-shirt, which I think will be something a little cool to get. And it's pretty much a luck of the draw thing. It's a pretty random, just get lucky kind of thing, which is also but it also makes it more entertaining than just picking a name out of a hat. So it's a nice little way to do a bit of a giveaway. I wanted to do a giveaway for a while now and give back to the fans, and obviously got 40k subscribers not too long ago, so we can kind of do something like that, or we just give back to the fans. So a little bit of a t-shirt giveaway. So we'll give one away. Obviously, we had some new designs as well. And by the way, those shirts will be on sale, I think, May 18th to May 20th. So if you want to grab a BrendenPlayz shirt for only $14, you can do so. Go to the website and click on merchandise, and you'll be taken there. So yeah, so the Royal Rumble's a cool way to do a bit of a giveaway and get you guys involved. The next three I'm probably going to make... So I'm going to stream it on Twitch, and then I'm going to upload that Royal Rumble to the YouTube channel as well. And probably in that YouTube channel, in the YouTube video, I should say, then I'll request that you guys pick someone to be in the Royal Rumble. And obviously first in gets it, you know. Or actually, I think I might just... I don't know. I don't know how I'll do it. Maybe I'll just pick random, so everyone gets equal opportunity. I'll just, you know, pick random and just kind of go through it all. So I guess probably people will just spam and spam and spam. But if that's what they want to do to get their name in there, then kudos to them. But yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing. A cool little giveaway. At this stage, like I said, a BrendenPlayz t-shirt. If it's not available, if I can't send it to your country or whatever, then I'll give away a PSN card or an Xbox Live card or whatever. iTunes will give out, whatever. We'll give away something of equal value, $20 of value. So just a nice little giveaway. And also, pretty exciting video. I think the Royal Rumbles is pretty damn fun to do. I had a lot of fun calling the Rumbles and kind of commentating over it on the Twitch channel. So I think you guys will definitely enjoy that. And there'll be 4 of them at least. So if they're no good, well, there's only 4 of them, so it's okay. But yeah, so that's something to keep your eye on. As for everything else, I think that's probably about it. And there's no real other updates. Night of Champions for Universe Mode coming up soon. Haven't really begun any real work on that yet. Unfortunately, I haven't got the graphics for it. I'm not sure if my usual graphics artist is going to be doing them for Night of Champions. I'm not sure, so that's a little bit concerning. So I don't know what I'm going to do for graphics wise. I'm going to have to try and make some myself, which is generally never any good. And considering I've had like a really good consistent graphics for a while now, and from me going back to me doing it is going to really suck. So yeah, but Night of Champions will be coming out in a few weeks' time. So probably going to be a while still. Like I said, got some assignments to do, but we are slowly getting there, so keep an eye out for that. Once again, we will be streaming Night of Champions live. I know NXT TakeOver, actually, I forgot about that. NXT TakeOver, obviously the next episode of Universe Mode is NXT, which will be possibly uploaded tomorrow or today, I'm not sure. Then the one after that is NXT TakeOver, so... yeah, so I'm not sure if I'm going to stream that live. I preferably would like to stream it on a weekend, but I don't want to kind of like drag it out and have like 3 or 4 days without an episode just for the sake of doing a stream. So I'm not sure what we're going to be doing there. Maybe we'll stream that on Friday night. I would like to kind of stream it. I mean, just a low-key stream if anyone wants to turn up and watch it. If not, just kind of check it out on the YouTube. But yeah, so that's something... might be in the works, so I'll keep you guys updated on that, and that's pretty much about it in terms of what I'm doing, and I guess now we'll get into what you guys want to hear about, and that's what the WWE is doing. So, alrighty, so this week on Monday Night Raw, not really this week on Raw, but what's been going on in wrestling, probably the main story right now is Emma being injured. Apparently she's got a back injury, or the disc in her back, or whatever, I don't know the medical term for it. So she's injured, which is a real shame. On the verge of getting a push, and, well, started getting a push, actually, and taken away from her because of an injury. It's so weird how that's been happening, hasn't it? You know, a few times I've seen guys just start to get a bit of momentum, then it's all taken away from them because of an injury. And again, I'm going to start the injury conversation up again. House shows. Why are we having so many of them? Why? I want to know. I want to know why. In this day and age, why do we have so many house shows? Now, the reason why, the general consensus was back in the day, why do we have so many house shows? Because, well, you'd only see wrestling once or twice a week on TV. So you want to kind of keep people in the know what's going on in the storylines and have the opportunity for people to see events. Well, now, I mean, I get it. Overseas tours of house shows, I get that. That's fine. But why do they have so many house shows in the US? They go to all these markets all the time for TV. So why do they need to have house shows there all the time? I do not get it whatsoever. It's just ridiculous. So I know they only get like a day and a half off or 2 days off a week. Why not make that 3 days off a week? At least cut at least one house show down a week. You know, have SmackDown, have Raw, have SmackDown, have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off. And if you want to do the weekends, which would obviously be the best time to do house shows, Saturday and Sunday, sure. But then at least you get Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday off. That's 3 days off instead of Wednesday, Thursday. I think you get half of Wednesday off because you fly back on Wednesday morning, and then you get Thursday off, and then you go back on Friday. So at least they'd get one extra day off. That's the way I understand. That's what I know. I could be wrong on that scheduling. But I just don't understand why they need to do that. The thing is, as well, they've got the WWE Network. So the network is constantly churning out product. We have social media as well, which is constantly keeping you updated with everything to the WWE. YouTube as well, constantly showing WWE content. So why the need to kind of keep going around to every single town all the time to try and keep people in the know and try and, keep, I get it. It's a good revenue source, sure. But surely that the health and well-being of your athletes and your wrestlers is much more important than churning out, a couple of extra $100,000 a week in house show revenue. So it's been, fair enough you get one or two injuries here and there. That's going to happen. But look at the injury list that's been happening in the last year. Cena, Rollins, Orton. I get it, Orton was a freak injury. Just taking out the trash or whatever. But, he's obviously had, years and years of been on the road, so it's going to be, worse off. Cesaro went down, Neville's gone down, Harper's down, Bray Wyatt's down, Emma's now gone, Sasha Banks has been injured here and there. It's crazy. So with all these injuries, yet they still continue to do so many events. I just can't really wrap my head around it. I mean, the content's there. People know about the WWE. They can be in tune with everything to do with the WWE 24/7 with social media. I get it in the 80s and 90s. Definitely, you need to do house shows. But do we really need to do so many events in this day and age? I'm going to say no. I don't think so. I guess the WWE need, they want the money, but I mean, you got to think about the wrestler's health. And I get it. House shows is good, for trialing out new gimmicks, using guys who aren't seen as much, trialing different things in the ring, blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying getting rid of them altogether. I'm saying at least cut back on one a week. And I think the international tours are great. I love seeing WWE live. I mean, I've only seen it a couple times, in the last, probably three times ever since I became a fan in '05. So they don't come all that often here. So it's great when they are here. Every 2 years they come. So I get it. The international tours are great, sure. But I just get the feeling like, why do they do so many house shows in the States? Maybe in towns that never get TV, sure, and smaller markets. But even now, like, you got NXT. And people say all the time, well, NXT is completely different to the WWE. It's the same company, it's the same, people at the head of it. I mean, yes, it's a lot of different wrestlers, but still, if you take NXT to some of these markets, well, at least they're going to get wrestling. It might not be WWE main roster, but it's still NXT. So if you want to replace some of these markets that you would have went to take your house shows there, replace that with NXT, it's still you're giving them some wrestling. And sometimes I'm probably sure NXT is pretty, right up there, if not better, than the WWE shows, regardless. So I just can't see the point of it. I just cannot wrap my head around it. And obviously Emma's gone down now, on the verge of getting a push. It's a real shame. Not sure when she's going to be coming back, but it's a real shame. I actually like Emma. Obviously, she's Australian, and when I saw her come to Australia, she was great. I thought, that made me a bit of a fan of her, and her new heel gimmick is good. Dana Brooke, though, by herself, I mean, she's got a bit of a Beth Phoenix kind of look to her. The strong blonde. I think she will get a big push because of the fact that she is, a strong female. Kind of sets herself apart a little bit in the division because She's got a bit extra size to her, and not many of the other women do have that right now. I guess Tamina, but I think even Tamina's injured, actually. And she's just dead in the water anyways. Nobody gives a shit about her at all. So she's one who probably should be one of the next to go, Tamina as well. So Dana Brooke can kind of come in there, and I haven't really no opinion on Dana Brooke. I haven't really seen much of her from what I saw on Raw, which, by the way, Raw this week was pretty mediocre. I did watch the whole thing, but I was kind of like, really, like, it just went on forever. It really felt like a long show, but so Dana Brooke, I think she will struggle a little bit by herself. I think obviously the plan was Emma's going to be the front and kind of have Dana Brooke as the sidekick and have the Emma versus Becky feud, with Dana Brooke as just kind of like that sidekick as the extra person to kind of have matches with Becky and slowly introduce her and slowly, you know, let Dana Brooke kind of find her way and get accustomed to the main roster. Now it's a little bit like Colin Cassidy as well, with Enzo going down. Cassidy's by himself. He kind of has to find his own footing by himself, and they're kind of throwing him into the deep end a little bit. Dana Brooke's going to be in a very similar situation as well, because now she's thrown into the deep end, and they're saying sink or swim pretty much, because Emma's not going to be there, and they don't know when she's coming back, so I guess Dana Brooke now is left to kind of fend for herself, which could mean that she may struggle. I think being by herself this early on, I don't know how long she's been wrestling for, but I think she's probably another year or two away from really kind of hitting her straps, so she probably would really need Emma alongside of her to be very successful. So her being by herself, I can just kind of see probably a month or two of success, then perhaps slipping away a little bit. I don't know. I'm hoping that they do something with her, because we've already seen already, and this is going to lead to some of my next points, we've seen already a number of these NXT guys have come into the main roster, they've done jack shit. Apollo Crews, where is he? I haven't seen him for 3 weeks. Where is Apollo Crews? This guy is great. All the talent in the world. I mean, have they given up on him already? Is he on main event? Is he on SmackDown? I don't even think he's on SmackDown. Is he on Superstars? What's he doing? Is he back in NXT? I don't know. Where is Apollo Crews? Have they given up already? Which would be a huge surprise, because Apollo Crews got the look, got the size. I mean, he's got it all, really. It just probably not a great promo, but other than that, he's pretty damn good. So where is he? I haven't seen him, and I'm very concerned, because I think Apollo Crews, I wrote him down as being one of the top tier guys in the WWE in the next few years. I think he's going to be one of those guys from NXT that breaks through and becomes a main event star. And there's not that many from NXT that I honestly believe can do that. I think I said Kevin Owens and Finn Balor were the only two that I saw, and Kevin Owens is on the verge of being there. I never really thought Sami Zayn could do it, no. So, and I don't even think the WWE really wants or really has any plans for Sami Zayn to get that far either. So, yeah, I'm a little concerned for Crews. I don't know. I thought perhaps he might be getting himself involved in a championship picture soon. Perhaps if Rusev wins that US championship, please God, I hope he does, because Kalisto's a champion. It's dreadful. We'll talk more about that one later on. Then I thought maybe Crews and Rusev might have a little bit of a feud there, and have Crews kind of get the championship or chase the championship for a while. I thought that could be interesting. But again, no Crews at the moment, so I'm not sure. Baron Corbin, I don't think he was on Raw this week, but I know he's got a match at the pay-per-view against Dolph Ziggler at least, so he's been on Raw enough for the last few weeks to, you know, kind of reaffirm his position. We didn't really need to see Ziggler versus Corbin again this week on Raw, so if they want to do a little confrontation between the two on SmackDown or whatever, that's fine. But that matchup at the pay-per-view should be pretty decent. So I'm not a big fan of Corbin, but you know, he's doing okay so far, and obviously I'll give him more of a chance. But I'm not a big fan, but I'm not hating what I'm seeing. So yeah, so no Crews. One guy from NXT though that is getting some attention is Big Cass, pretty much destroying Devon this week. I mean, is anyone really surprised though that Cass is getting a bit of a push? 6'9", and you know, looks like a beast. Despite the fact that they say that he's 7 foot tall and he doesn't look anything like it, but you know, that's, you know, I digress. But anyways, he destroyed the Devon. So yeah, I mean, obviously, last week was in the main event until that was cut short. So he's obviously getting a bit of a TV time, a bit of attention, promo time as well. So, that leads me to believe that if they ever split the two, well, Cass is definitely getting a damn push. He's definitely going in places. But it also could mean that maybe Enzo, if he comes back, maybe he's just the sidekick again. Maybe he's the mouthpiece for Big Cass. I don't know. But I heard someone else say on another show that perhaps they're just trying to get Cassidy. Obviously, Enzo is kind of leaps and bounds ahead of Cassidy. Perhaps they're just trying to get Big Cass some exposure, some getting used to being on Raw and being used to being on the big stage, and just a bit of experience there, and kind of helping it level out the playing field a little bit, which I think is probably about right. I think that's a good idea. So I'm glad they didn't take him off TV altogether, and him just kind of beating up a few guys. Some guys in the tag division as well. So obviously the Dudleys have had a bit of a run-in with Enzo and Cass as well. So when Enzo comes back, perhaps they can revisit that in the tag team thing. So yeah, it's certainly pretty interesting right now with what they're doing with him. I still don't know when Enzo's coming back. I would definitely say it's not too far away. Perhaps they might bring him back after the pay-per-view, maybe a little bit further along after that, but it can't be that far away. And, speaking of guys coming back, John Cena's back in 2 weeks. I'm hearing Seth Rollins is just about ready to go. Orton and Bray Wyatt are ready to go soon as well. So, like I said, probably 6 months ago on the show, around about this time, this May, June, July period is when everyone's coming back, and it's going to be a very exciting period just for comebacks and just for fresh faces again. I obviously Cena and Orton been around forever, but I've missed Seth Rollins. I have. I'm really looking forward to him coming back. Hopefully he comes back as a babyface, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Rollins again, because I'm kind of really bored of the main title picture. I mean, the club and the bloodline or the family, whatever the fuck they're calling them, I don't care. I really don't care. And I've been a fan of Reigns. I've supported Reigns. I've defended Reigns. But I will say that the Usos just bore me to tears. Anything they do, I have not enjoyed them for months. So them being affiliated with Reigns is annoying. And I didn't mind the Reigns promo, he and Styles back and forth this week. I didn't mind that. That was not too bad, considering two guys who are terrible on the mic. Not a bad little confrontation between the two. Their opening segment was okay. But their tag team match, again, just no interest because I don't care. The club, I mean, we've already seen, this is the thing, like we've seen the Usos and the club verse so many times already. Twice a week it pretty much is. They verse on Raw, they verse on SmackDown, and it's just like, wow, you're just overexposing, and when it gets to a pay-per-view, if there's ever a 3-on-3 match at a pay-per-view, we've already seen it, so they've kind of thrown away all these potential matchups on SmackDown and Raw, where they could quite easily be pay-per-view matches. Fair enough, you want to do singles matches, sure. Have Jay versus Carl Anderson or whatever to kind of keep the rivalries going, but giving away so many tag team matches is just kind of a little bit questionable for my liking anyways. So because of that, I'm a little tired of the matchups already. I will say, though, I am looking forward to seeing Reigns and Styles again. I really enjoyed their payback match. So I think Extreme Rules take away the bullshit gimmick of DQ, no, continue the match. Oh, count out, no, continue the match. Take away that and just have it a straight-up Extreme Rules match. Should be pretty good. I think that should be a lot of fun. So the core of it, Reigns and Styles, I'm liking, but the extras of Gallows and Anderson and the Usos, not so much. And that's not a knock on Gallows and Anderson. I think, Carl Anderson and Gallows are pretty good. I like them in the ring, but I just guess that the Usos are just, I just don't care. So maybe that's kind of, and like I said, too much already. It's too much confrontation between all of them too soon. So we've already kind of seen enough already where we don't really need to see any more. We also had the Shining Stars debut this week on Raw. And my God, this has got to be one of the worst debuts I've seen in a while. Already, they were doomed from the get-go. I mean, what the fuck is their gimmick? The two guys from Puerto Rico come to the Caribbean, whatever it is. So basically, there's two guys from the Caribbean who are saying how great their country is. Is this a commercial to like? Have they signed a new like deal with Puerto Rico? Like, come to our country? Like, have they signed like a travel deal with an airline or something? Like, what, I mean, are we promoting like, let's go to this country? Yeah, like, what's the deal? Are we trying to like get people to go to the country? Like, what is their gimmick? They're like two salesmen trying to like sell their country. Like, how does that translate in the ring? And by the way, I think it's Epico. Does not look in great shape at all. And for a team that hasn't been on, TV for a year just about, they could have, got themselves in better shape. Primo looks fine, but Epico not so much, a bit more chunkier. But yeah, it's just interesting. I mean, what is their gimmick? I just don't get it. Like, what are they trying to achieve with this tag team? And Epico and Primo, they've tried that before. It's failed. It sucked. Los Matadors was one of the worst teams I've ever seen. Abysmal. When do you say enough is enough? These guys have been around for years now. When do you kind of give up on these guys? I mean, if we're firing Alex Riley, we're firing Damian Sandow, getting rid of Bad News Barrett, probably going to get rid of Adam Rose soon. Can we get rid of Epico and Primo? I mean, does anyone want to see this tag team? I really don't. I mean, we've got Big Cass and Enzo coming in, Vaudevillains coming in, probably the American Alpha coming up eventually soon. We got some exciting tag teams here, and we're still kind of sticking along with Epico and Primo. The way I see it, in 2 weeks' time, they're going to be on Main Event, they're going to be on Superstars, they're going to start losing, no one's going to give a shit, they're going to job them out, and goodbye. That's the way I see it. This tag team really has no merits to go anywhere. They talk about how great the women are in Puerto Rico. They come to the ring with no women. They come to the ring with nothing. And I missed their entrance, but I know they didn't come to the ring with any women. But, yeah, and in the ring, they're just mediocre. They beat up two locals. What's that prove, So, just a really lackluster debut and something that, you only get a chance, one chance at a first impression, even though we've already seen them many, many times. We've already made up our minds pretty much about them. But again, the Shining Stars, big, big fail from me. That is dead in the water. Like I said with Tyler Breeze back when he debuted, I said in 2 weeks, in 2 or 3 weeks' time, he'll be a main event of Superstars. I'm calling it again with the Shining Stars. In a few weeks' time, they're going to be on Superstars, and no one's going to give a fuck about them. Even the WWE won't give a shit about them. Honestly, I would try this out, and this has got to be their last chance. If not, goodbye. Just release them. They offer nothing. And speaking of tag teams forming, the Golden Truth finally had a match together. They lost. So it looks like Breeze and Fandango are forming a little bit of a short-term pairing. Don't know how long-term that's going to be. But I wouldn't mind that being a long-term pairing. At least it's giving them something to do. Hey, at least Breeze is getting a win. That's a start. But yes, Golden Truth, we finally, after 4 months of build, have finally put these two guys together. And they lose. And it just seems to me, I look at these two, and it's just they look like two dads who are trying to fit in with the cool kids. Two dads, trying to, fit in with their teenage sons and, trying to learn the lingo and, do the dance moves and all that. It's just, they just seem so out of place. It's two old guys just, hanging around. It's just, when they said the Golden Girls, that was really a perfect description of them, because they really seem like that. They're showing their age a little bit there, and they're trying to be funny. Goldust trying to do the stupid dance moves, trying to be funny. Didn't work, got no reaction, and again, another fail. And I think they missed their opportunity. They dragged it a little bit too long, probably 2 months too long before they hit the execution. Yes, what they did in the last few weeks, having Fandango and Breeze turn on them, not too bad, but they've kind of stretched it out too long to the point where nobody really cared. After I was kind of liking the segments for a month or so. I thought they were pretty funny. Then they really start to fall away a little bit, and then it just kind of got dragged along and along and along and along. So they kind of missed their chance to execute on that and have a little bit of a lower mid-card, a bit of a goofy comedic tag team. Would have been fine, but they kind of missed their opportunity to do that. And too little too late now. It just didn't really seem to work. The crowd didn't really get into it all that much. So another bit of a fail. And we've got plenty of teams in the division, plenty of tag teams going around, but not really many successful tag teams, so that's a little bit concerning. I thought it was good in the other tag team match that they had on Raw, the IC Championship tag team match. I thought it was good how they mixed it up a little bit. Had Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens team up together, had the Miz and Cesaro team up together. I thought that was a good idea where they was going to just have the standard Miz and Owens versus Zayn and Cesaro. I didn't like that because, Sami Zayn and Cesaro just having a match together, now they have to team up together. It just didn't quite make sense. And just kind of mixing it up a little bit and having Owens and Zayn team up was pretty good. So that was a good high point of the show. So I didn't mind that. We had the women's match close out Monday Night Raw with the contract signing. I thought it was okay. I thought the promos were okay. Natty was okay. I thought Charlotte was pretty good. A few times I thought she was quite annoying. But that match, I'm not looking forward to it at all because of what they did at Payback. The stupid screwjob finish has just killed any momentum and any excitement for me in that match. I can basically see a couple scenarios. Number one, Ric Flair comes out and, because he's delusional, and it feels like Ric Flair just doesn't know what he's doing when he's in the ring. Just feels like he's going to mess up, or like every time he speaks, I'm kind of worried that he's going to mess up or say something wrong or forget his lines or something. I'm just so concerned every time I hear him talk. But I feel like at the pay-per-view, probably Ric Flair may come out and cost Charlotte the belt that way, or, to probably set up for a bit of a breakup between the two, finally have Charlotte go on her own and prove herself on her own and chase the championship back. That would obviously mean that Natalya needs to win the title, which I could probably see happening as a bit of a short-term reward for her long service, give her the belt for a little bit, and, just say thanks, give her the belt for a month and have Charlotte win it back at the next pay-per-view. I could see that possibly going down. Maybe Charlotte's in the sharpshooter, Ric Flair runs out to try and help her, and, not knowing what happened, he's, because he's delusional, cost the title for her. So I could see that possibly happening. But yeah, so that's a few scenarios that, one scenario that can happen. Obviously, the other one is just Charlotte just beats Natalya. Probably more than likely going to happen. So, yeah, but just the screw job at Payback really kind of lost any excitement for me because of how stupid it was. It's just such a stupid thing to do, and now I've kind of really lost any interest. Finally, the New Day of the Time Machine segment that just kind of popped in my mind. I forgot about it, but it just popped in my mind. I didn't mind that. I thought, yes, it was really goofy and really silly, but I didn't mind it. I thought when Kofi Kingston came back with his old music and pretending like it's 2009 again, I thought that was kind of funny. I thought that was okay, and it's a little weird, but a little goofy, but it's something a little different. It's better than the standard stuff they've been doing. So at least they're trying to do some different things, trying different ways to be funny, trying different things out. And the Vaudevillains, attacking the New Day was good. I'm not sure who's going to win that match. I get the feeling I could see the Vaudevillains winning, but I feel like it might be a little bit too soon for the villains to get the belts. I would probably rather a few more extra months of them building up this team, because I feel like I don't know enough about the villains yet. I feel like I need, some more vignettes or something, some promos from these guys to really know more about what they're all about. And I think the New Day have had the championships for a long time now, been very, very successful. They have been cooling away a little bit, and like I've said in the last couple months on the show, I've kind of lost a little bit of interest in the New Day. They're kind of annoying me a little bit, not finding some of the things they're doing funny, but I do like all three of them. I like Kingston, I like Big E, I like Woods, so I will continue to be a supporter of them. Honestly, I would love to go to a live event and see the New Day live. I think that'd be a lot of fun, seeing the New Day live. I'm really kind of bummed out that they're not coming to my city this year in Australia. I'm really kind of bummed out about that. Not coming to Brisbane. So I thought I was looking forward to kind of seeing the New Day, looking forward to seeing like Styles and, probably a returning Rollins and whatnot. That would have been cool. But unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. So yeah, it's a little disappointing. But yeah, I think the New Day will be a lot of fun to see live. So they're a very fun team, no doubt. But maybe it's time to have a freshener in the tag division, have someone different have the belts. And I really thought the League of Nations or I actually thought the Dudley Boys would take the belts away from them. Then I thought perhaps the League of Nations were a chance. But now I guess it's got to be one of the new teams. I guess it's got to be the Vaudevillains, because they are the heel team. And whether they take it at this pay-per-view or perhaps the next one, I don't know. But I think it's going to happen pretty soon. But that's just about it for this week's edition of Raw. Like I said, it was a pretty mediocre edition. Not really a special one. Nothing much really happening. But yeah, so that was an okay edition of Raw. A couple other things this week. Paige and Alberto Del Rio dating. A lot of people kind of wanted to know my opinion on this. My opinion is that there's a 15-year age gap between the two. Paige 23, Del Rio I think is turning 39. So to me, it just kind of looks really wrong. I saw the pictures of them. It just kind of looks weird. Looks a bit gross. Just wrong. That's just my opinion. It's such a big age gap. I'm not a big fan of that. But, it's their life. They can do whatever they want. They can date whoever they want. If they're happy, they're happy. That's great. But for me, as an outsider looking in, my honest opinion, I don't like it. I just think it looks a little bit wrong. And I think Paige probably should be maybe trying to date someone similar to her own age, trying to get her own career on track. She's just come out of an engagement. Del Rio, I think, is divorced. I don't know. He's coming out of a marriage. So to me, it kind of just seems as a short-term little fling that will happen and go away in a couple months or so. So don't see it as a big deal, really. I guess it's just a little thing for both of them. Maybe a bit of a rebound. Both of them just kind of having fun and, letting off some steam or whatever. And, fair enough. If that's it. If they serious long-term relationship, well, yeah, I don't see it lasting. But I just think it's just a short-term little fling. But if that's the case, then go for it. The Adam Rose situation. I don't have the full details in front of me, but I guess most of you guys will have the idea anyway, what happened. Basically getting involved in a bit of a domestic incident with his wife. I probably should get the details up, but obviously he was arrested, went to court, his wife pleading for, forgiveness, trying to, help him get off. But for whatever it is, Adam Rose seems as though he is done and dusted, suspended indefinitely by the WWE. Not looking good for the guy, and I kind of feel bad for him. I mean, his career pretty much going down the toilet. Got a a kid with a disability at home, and yeah, for the man himself, things aren't working out too well. He looked kind of really embarrassed and defeated a little bit when he was standing in front of the judge. So yeah, I kind of, I've heard some other people say as well, I've read on Twitter and things, that they kind of fear for Adam Rose a little bit. He might do something, something silly. I don't know. I mean, obviously, he was suspended because of the drug abuse thing anyways, which he believes was wrong. Then now getting involved in this, which is fair enough to get suspended by. So he's not having much luck. Things aren't going his way, and potentially now losing his job, losing a pretty good paying job to support his kid. Things, just aren't working too well for him. You can say what you want about his gimmick or whatever. I don't like the wrestler of Adam Rose, but the person, obviously I saw the 30 for 30 thing, and you got to feel for the guy. His story is pretty sad and pretty remarkable what he's had to kind of overcome and deal with on a daily basis. So hopefully the guy can sort himself out. Hopefully he can move on from this incident. Hopefully, for his sake, that he can keep himself a job and the WWE doesn't let him go and he can turn his career around. I know he's getting up there in age, so this could be his last chance at a wrestling run, and if things don't work out in the WWE, obviously it's going to make it pretty difficult for him to get independent bookings as well, so he may even need to go with a career change, which at this late, well, not late, but like at this time in his life will be quite difficult to do, and could make things very tough for him and his family. So now we'll run through the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. We're going to get through this pretty quickly. We'll start from the top of the card and go work our way down. We have the Extreme Rules matchup between Reigns and Styles. I think Roman Reigns is going to keep the belt. I think the club are going to get themselves involved and kind of accidentally cost Styles the championship. The Usos will, try and take out the club. I think the club will take out the Usos, but will, accidentally hit Styles, or they'll do something, to cost Styles the championship and kind of create a bit of dissension between the club and Styles. So yeah, Roman Reigns will keep that championship. Like I said a little bit earlier, I think Charlotte's going to keep the title against Natalya. Rusev versus Kalisto. I hope that Kalisto loses the belt. Like I said in the past few shows, he sucks as a champion. Has held the title way too long. Major flop as a champion. I got a bit of a chuckle. He was doing his entrance this week, and he, fell over. Like he stumbled and nearly fell over trying to do his entrance. And this guy's just, I don't know. He's just a poor man's Rey Mysterio. And I think I can support him, but I just think him as a champion is not good, and they're not. I don't know what they can do to fix him. I really don't, but I guess him having Sin Cara there is not good. It's Rusev. I mean, Rusev with the League of Nations sucks, but I think Rusev by himself is great. I don't know if another US title win is the right way to go about it for Rusev, but it will at least give him some legitimacy. I fear that maybe John Cena might come back and steal the belt away from Rusev pretty quickly again. I could see something like that happen. Maybe Randy Orton gets it this time. I don't know. I could see Rusev kind of losing it to one of those guys. But hopefully they give Rusev another chance. I really believe Rusev could be a main eventer. I really do. I really believe he could be a main event monster heel. I think he's got it in him. I think he's good enough in the ring to do it. Got enough size, enough intensity, and he's got Lana alongside of him. I think he's a good he and Lana are a good package. I like Rusev. I really believe he could go places. So I'm hoping they give him a real chance. Not what happened last time. He was getting momentum, doing well, and then Cena takes it all away from him. That's an instance where working with Cena killed Rusev. I mean, that was it. After that, he was finished. And he went on to do that stupid love storyline with Ziggler. Yeah, terrible. So Rusev has not really recovered from that, and hopefully he can. Hopefully he can start to get a bit of momentum. Losing to Sin Cara, though, I think was that last week. Oh my god. I know he got his win back on SmackDown, but nobody really watches SmackDown. What happens on Raw is what happens. What happens on Raw is the only thing that really matters. So if you want to have Rusev lose on SmackDown, fair enough, but having him lose on Raw is probably a no-no. So it kind of ruined a bit of momentum for Rusev already. But he kind of hit back this week, destroying Sin Cara as well, so it was okay. Tag team match, New Day versus the Vaudevillains. We kind of talked about that a little bit before. I think there's a big chance the Vaudevillains may win, but I think it may happen at a future pay-per-view. Might not happen just quite yet. Fatal 4-way for the title, Intercontinental title. I see The Miz sneaking away with the belt. I think The Miz might, roll up Cesaro or Sami Zayn or something and sneak away with the championship. And, maybe Maurice will help him out or something. I think Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens will be too busy on each other. Cesaro and The Miz will battle it out, and I think there's a chance The Miz might get a roll-up and get a bit of a flash pinfall finish there and take out Cesaro. An Asylum match, Ambrose versus Jericho. Well, what to expect from this? This could be anything. I mean, steel cage with some weapons on top. Looks fun. Looks exciting. I'd like to see the straitjacket put on someone, and then maybe, I know they probably won't ever use it, but the barbed wire bat used on the straitjacket, which obviously will lessen the damage a little bit. I think that'd be pretty cool. Use the strap a bit, kind of use everything, use the fire extinguisher, use it all, and kind of have it a bit of a gimmicky, bit of a crazy match. I think that'd be pretty fun. So the first match, Ambrose and Jericho, a bit of a letdown, so hopefully they can hit back with a strong performance in this one. Jericho seems as though his first couple matches he has with Styles, it was a bit of a, it was alright, it's just a bit of a letdown, and he kind of gets it right by the third one, so kind of need a few matches to iron out the kinks, then they get the third ones where the magic happens. So this is the second one, so we'll see how this one goes. But I like the storyline. They're kind of building that up really well. Good promo between Jericho and Ambrose back and forth on Raw as well. I like that. Taking out the jacket, even the pot plant, even though it's a little silly, but that's fair enough. So they're making it a little bit personal. So it's pretty good. It's a good built-up rivalry so far. So I'm looking forward to the payoff at the pay-per-view. And finally, I think this is the kickoff match, at least is what I've kind of read here. The no DQ match, Corbin versus Ziggler. I think Corbin will win that one. Disappointing it's on the kickoff, but it seems as though they might need another match or two on this main card, so I don't know what's going to happen there. Maybe they'll throw Big Cass, will get a bit of squash match or something like that, I don't know. But so last time we had two kickoff matches. So maybe we'll get a Shining Star. Yeah, we can get a Shining Stars match, no doubt. We'll get one of them fucking tag team matches with the Epico and Primo. They'll stick one of them in there and make us suffer. Hopefully it's on the pre-show. But yeah, that's the Extreme Rules full card rundown. Not a really lot to kind of say. I don't really know where they're going with some of the things, but that's just what I think is going to happen. Let me know what you guys think. Who's going to win what match, particularly with the championship matchups as well. So let me know what you guys think. This week, what is Brendan playing? This week, I haven't had a chance to play too much. I had a chance to go on stream and play Pokemon Black, which is one of the games I have not played. I stopped playing Pokemon at Pokemon Pearl. So I got a chance to play Pokemon Black a little bit. It's okay. It's not too bad. I haven't played too much of it yet, but it's okay. So I know there's Sun and Moon coming out soon, which I don't have a 3DS, but that could be kind of fun to get and play. Maybe in the future, maybe I'll think about that. But I know Uncharted 4 has come out. I really want to play it, but I need to get my work done. I was really looking forward to Homefront 2, but I just read on IGN a little earlier a 5 out of 10 on review. So a big letdown there. So I don't know if I'm going to get that now. Doom, I was maybe thinking about getting it if it went on sale, but I'm not going to pay a full price for Doom. But again, it doesn't look that great. It looks alright. I didn't really get into the beta much, so the multiplayer is where I'd like to be at. I didn't really dig the multiplayer too much, so very disappointing again there. So a few of these games I've been looking forward to haven't really hit, but obviously Uncharted 4, no surprise, was awesome, and great reviews. I'm really looking forward to playing it. Cannot wait. Uncharted, huge fan. I don't know if I mentioned that last week or not, but I'm a huge fan of Uncharted, and I cannot wait for it. So, any other games coming out? I'm not exactly sure after that, but yeah. So I'm just kind of looking forward to getting some time. I could have probably bought Uncharted by now, but I kind of want to just get it and beat it in a couple days. Just sit down and play it all day and just finish it. That's kind of like my plan, and finish it a couple times, get the platinum on it, and really, really enjoy it. Whereas if I buy it now, then I'll have to play it for a couple hours, and I'll have to do my assignment, and I'll really want to play Uncharted, and I'll be more tempted to play Uncharted than do my assignment, so it could distract me, and I might not get my work done. So, for my own sake, I need to do my assignment, so I gotta, put Uncharted on hold for the time being. But, yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing this week. Not a lot. Still playing a lot of Total Extreme Wrestling 16. Obviously, that came out a few weeks ago. I played a lot of that. But I've kind of burnt myself out on it a little bit. What I did is I brought in too many wrestlers. I made my roster way too big. And, I don't know if you guys know too much about the game, but I bought out a company. I think I bought PWG on the independent promotion on the game. I bought out PWG, and I had all the wrestlers from PWG that was working at PWG come and work for me. So now I have like 20 new guys on my roster that I haven't been booking or been pushing or doing anything with. So it's kind of like so many new guys that I just can't really deal with them all. So I kind of guess I brought in too much than I can handle, and it's kind of dampened the fun for me a little bit. But yeah, so I'm still kind of playing away on that, and I haven't played it for a few days, but I'll get back into that pretty soon. And other than that, really not much else I've been playing. So let's get on to this week's questions. So the first one is coming in from 37 Will Dog. There have been some rumors that more releases are coming after Extreme Rules. Who do you think will possibly get released? Well, it doesn't really matter who I think, because you never really know. But probably the one name you're probably expecting is obviously Adam Rose. Depending how his case kind of goes, I think he kind of got let off and he has to do... I think he has to see someone every week, check in every week, do something like that. Depending how his kind of drug thing went down as well. I mean, there's a lot of baggage there, there's a lot of bad press there, so it's quite possible that they might offload him. Honestly, who would I like to see go? I think, honestly, like we said earlier before, Epico and Primo are finished. They offer nothing. They're done. Summer Rae offers nothing. She can go. The Ascension, pretty much done and dusted as well. I would even say Heath Slater. I know a lot of people say, oh, he's a good enhancement guy, but we don't, it's time to, he's been around for forever. It's time to kind of like cut the fat and, bring in some different guys and, freshen it up a little bit. He's been on TV for like 6 years now, so I would definitely cut him. Seems as though Ryback is another one who's on his way out. Who else can we get rid of? Like I said as well, Tamina, I think she's pretty much played out as well. She really doesn't... I don't think that they're never really going to give her the push. They've given her the bodyguard role like 15 times now. I mean, how many times can she do that? So she's pretty much done and dusted as well. So there's a few names. I would also probably cut Darren Young as well, this whole Bob Backlund thing. I haven't really commented too much on it. Actually, I missed it today. It was on TV, but I didn't see it. I could hear it, but I didn't see it. It was in the other room. But yeah, so I would probably cut Darren Young as well. I feel like he just doesn't have it. And I honestly think Titus O'Neil could be another one who, just like Sandow, will unfortunately be cut. Titus has been around for a while. I really like Titus, but I just feel like they got nothing for him. So he, unfortunately, could be another one on his way out. But those are just my opinion. I mean, that's not a definite who I think is going to be released, but those are some of the names that I probably would be considering letting go in the near future. This one's from Roy the Boy. Do you think Bayley should stay in NXT a little longer or move up to the main roster? This is a very interesting question. I mean, obviously you want to see Bayley move up, but you also don't want to see the NXT women's division depleted too much, and sometimes too much at one point is not good. Obviously, you look at the roster right now, we just had an influx of NXT talent. Dana Brooke is another woman who has just headed up to the main roster as well, so you would have to say no, now is not a good time to bring her up. 6 months' time probably would be a great time. Even after SummerSlam, if they want to try and freshen up the Divas, the Women's Championship, I'm kind of still used to calling Divas, the Women's Championship, then potentially they could bring in Bayley and hotshot her into that Women's Championship picture, and I'm sure the crowd wouldn't mind. So that's an option that they have. She's a bit of a power player, really. She's like a card that they have up their sleeve that they can play at any time and probably be quite effective and work. So I guess they kind of know that she's a guaranteed success nearly, so they're gonna wait for the right time. Whereas Dana Brooke, she's one that you never know, she could be hit or miss pretty easily. So she could be on Superstars in a month or two if they're not careful as well. So they need to kind of put some more time and investment into her. And probably now she's got the potential to not really have the spotlight on her. So there's so many different guys coming up at once. It sometimes can really benefit for someone who is not a big noted name in NXT, who didn't really, create waves and get all this attention, to kind of come up to the main roster and not have all that focus and attention on them. The attention's on the Vaudevillains, it's on Enzo and Cass, it's on Apollo Crews, it's on Baron Corbin. It's not totally focused on Dana Brooke, so she's able to come up and things, won't be really, the focus won't really be on her, so she'll be able to kind of comfortably transition into the role. Whereas Bayley, well, all the attention's going to be on her. So when you want you want her to debut when there's a spot to have all the attention on her, and that time would be perhaps bring her up by herself around about that SummerSlam, maybe Survivor Series period later on in the year. This one is again from Roy the Boy. Do you think WWE should sign the rest of the Bullet Club members who are still in Japan? No, I don't think so. I think they've got the best of the Bullet Club already. I guess you could get the Young Bucks, but I don't think they're very interested in joining, at least from last time I heard. They rejected a deal from the WWE, so I don't think there's really a need to bring in any more members. I think you've got Anderson, Gallows, Styles, and Finn Balor. That's probably the best of the club, really, so I think they've kind of depleted that group enough, and perhaps I would bring in Kenny Omega down the line, but probably not yet. Maybe a couple of years' time, I would perhaps bring him in, let him kind of flourish a little bit more on the Japanese circuit. So, no, I wouldn't bring any more in at this stage. I would kind of just leave it as is for now. This one's from J-Boy in the house. Will you keep Sandow and Barrett for your universe mode? Well, generally, I will offload someone who has been released, so there's a probably big chance that I think Barrett is pretty much, I probably won't use him much anymore. Sandow's obviously currently involved in a storyline, and I don't really, I still think there's a bit of value in Sandow, so there's potential that I'll keep Sandow around for a while. We'll see how it goes. If you guys want me to keep him in, then I probably will. Obviously, look at Daniel Bryan and Christian, Batista. There's some names that have kind of come and gone, and I've kind of kept them in. So it doesn't apply in every circumstance, but for most times I will release, or quote-unquote release, someone from my universe mode. So probably Barrett is 100% gone at this point, but there's a chance that Sandow may stick around at least for the short term until this Miz storyline. We'll kind of see how that plays out, and then we'll go from there. This one is from Decent Stuff. Why is Vince signing talent if he is never going to use them properly? Well, you need talent. You need talent on the roster. Not everyone can be the world champion. Not everyone can be the man. Not everyone can be John Cena. Not everyone can be a champion. So not everyone can get the big push. But it takes two to tango. You need one guy to lose, one guy to win. Not everyone can win. So sometimes you got to bring in guys, and sometimes they won't ever get that big push. Quite often, more than not, they do give a push to probably 85% of the roster. Most of the time, they bring them in and they give them a fair shot. If they succeed, they'll keep going with it. If not, well, then they're pretty much done. So it's a very risky situation. Obviously, you can debut, and if it doesn't work, you look at someone like Kazani, a horrible debut, it's done. When Chris Harris came in, big star in TNA, came along, terrible debut, and he was gone 3 weeks later. So it can happen. You can come in and just, it does not work, and things just don't go your way, and you don't get a push. Would you probably use that same situation for Tyler Breeze? I don't think so. I don't think he had a bad debut. The only reason why I would say his debut was bad is because it took place on SmackDown and not on Raw, and it just was a bit of a throwaway debut. I think he was set to fail from the beginning. So sometimes, I guess, if Vince doesn't get the gimmick, Vince is not into it, Vince is not a fan of you, then he will set out to make you fail from the get-go and never really give you a true opportunity. And I guess someone like Tyler Breeze is a perfect example of that, who I would probably dare say Vince McMahon didn't like or understand the gimmick, and he just basically didn't give him a chance from the get-go. Couple weeks push, and then straight away he's on Main Event and Superstars doing absolutely nothing and begun his hellacious losing streak. So, yeah, I mean, sometimes some guys don't get a proper opportunity, but for the most part, they generally do. But, it's up to the talent and the creative to try and, get them over. And, obviously some people can't win. Not everyone can win, so someone has to lose. And unfortunately, sometimes it's the guy that we believe that should be winning that ends up losing. Look at Damien Sandow, could have been anything, but unfortunately he ends up losing. Look at Cesaro, he's booking over the past few years. So unfortunately that's the case, but at the end of the day, it's up to, the management, Triple H, Vince, and creative, and, Kevin Dunn and all them, the booking staff. If they don't like you, they don't see money in you, then they're not going to push you. If they see money in you, then they're going to give you an opportunity, and perhaps someone like Sandow, they didn't see any money in, and, decided not to give him that push. So unfortunately, not everyone can be used, quote-unquote, properly. Roy the Boy, a lot of questions from here today, that's good. Do you think Drew McIntyre could have been a world champion by now if he was booked correctly, and if WWE will, and do you think WWE will re-sign him? Mumble that question up, sorry. I never saw Drew McIntyre beyond probably an IC champion at best. Never really saw anything in him. Drew Galloway in TNA, he's doing alright. Still, again, don't really see the world champion status in him. I know some people do, but for me, I have not seen that in him. He's a good, decent worker. Not a bad promo. He's just a alright talent overall, in my opinion. I don't think he's an exceptional talent. I don't think he's the second coming, of whoever. I don't think he's anything other than, a decent talent. So I know a lot of people were kind of disappointed when he got let go and saying, "Oh, he could have been a world champion. He could have been all this." I don't think he could have been. Should he have been in 3MB? Hell no. But I think he could have been a solid upper mid carder at best. But I don't think a world champion would have been in his future. Maybe if they had the second world title, because that belt was just a mid card title at one point, so a majority of the point. So potentially a chance at that, but that would be the only chance. Or maybe a Money in the Bank. That's about it. This one is from Thomas Speller. Following on from my question from last week, if you were to give Michael Cole time off, Would you write him off TV? How would you do it? So obviously last week he asked the question of, do I think it's time to give Cole a break because he seems as though he's burnt out and get his passion back? I probably would write him off TV. How would I do it? You know, maybe, I don't know, the feuds between the commentators are quite often silly, and I don't know, maybe I'll just say, honestly, look, I'm taking some time off, and Mauro Ranallo is going to replace me for a while, and it's been great, and I'll see you later. You know, just at the end of a broadcast, just say, you know, tonight's my last night for the next 3 months, and I'll see you later. You know, it doesn't have to be a storyline or an angle. Just have Michael Cole just say a few things on, you know, a couple of things on TV, and let him, you know, say, you know, I'll be back in 3 months. You know, so it doesn't have to be a storyline or an angle. Just have him say something quietly and move on. This one's from Mark Georgiev. We'll go with that. Georgiev. Do I think Chris Jericho will win his 10th Intercontinental Championship? Possibly. I don't know. I think, yeah, it depends how long he's sticking around for. If he's going to be around for another 2 or 3 years, I could see it happening. Just to give him the championship, just to give him that 10th reign. I could see him having the belt for a quick minute. Thomas Speller, do you see a returning superstar winning a mid-card title to give it some credibility? So, obviously, Cena, Orton, Rollins coming back, the big names. Could I see one of them winning the title? This time I could see Randy Orton winning one. Normally, you know, it's been John Cena in recent times, but I could see Randy Orton coming back and perhaps winning the IC Championship or the US title, either one. I could see it happening, and I wouldn't be against it. We haven't seen Orton as a mid-card champion for quite some time, so why not give Orton something to do, some different opponents for Orton to face, and I think it could be pretty interesting. Another one here, this time it's from Nabakos. Vince said in a press conference that Cena, Rollins, and Orton will have all return within the next month. What do you think those three will do upon their return? Well, I think Cena will be in the world title picture. I think he could potentially be Roman Reigns' next opponent. They kind of teased that before Cena did go down with an injury. Rollins, he could also be Roman Reigns' next opponent. Depends if they're going to turn Rollins heel, keep him heel, or turn him babyface. Potentially, Rollins could pair up with Roman Reigns to try and take on the club if they're going to keep AJ Styles with the club. There's a few different scenarios there, and like I said, Orton could be a great upper mid-card, you know, be IC champion or whatever, US champion, he could do that, and Cena could also do that as well. So there's a few different scenarios. I don't think Orton will be in the world title picture, but I definitely do think Rollins will be, and Cena is a maybe. He could either be, you know, in the mid-card or in the world title picture. And another one from the Backhouse, the final question today. What do you think of the first ever Asylum match? Do you like the stipulation or hate it? Well, I don't know what to really say. I mean, it's just a steel cage match with some extra props, isn't it? I think a straitjacket match probably would have been better, considering they used the straitjacket. I think that would have been a little bit cooler, but I kind of get it. I kind of like it. You know, it kind of fits the gimmick a little bit of the Ambrose Asylum. You know, we're locked in a cage. We're locked in an area together. There's no escape. So I kind of like it. It kind of fits the storyline a little bit. So why not? And I think the straitjacket, they could have done a straitjacket match as well. I wouldn't have been against that. I think that would have worked. So it's a cool little gimmick, and we'll see what they do with it. If they're going to use actual weapons, if they're going to use, you know, everything that's on offer, then it could be a lot of fun. If not, well, you know, it'll be just another wasted opportunity. Just be a regular steel cage match, which, by the way, has not been very good. Cage matches in general have not been very good since the PG thing began. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll see if they can put on a good matchup. But that'll do it for me today, guys. If you enjoyed this episode of Let's Talk Tuesdays, make sure you share it around with your friends, and also leave a like on whichever platform you saw it on. Of course, the show is available to download on iTunes, on Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and of course you can listen to the show on YouTube. Make sure you support the show by heading on over to our Twitter page at BrendenPlayz and following the page. Also leaving a like on our Facebook page, BrendenPlayz Official, and by coming over to the forums at BrendenPlayz.com/forums and leaving your question for next week's show. You can also do that on our Facebook page. The question post generally goes up on Tuesday morning, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. And actually, no, Monday morning. Yeah, Monday morning. My apologies. And also, you can leave a question for next week's show on the website via a voicemail or in the YouTube comments section. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you all next Tuesday.